Hello everybody and welcome back to Card Karma. Today we are taking a look at another more so like rogue deck for Legacy in terms of call it rogue because it's really not been popular, it's not been played a lot, but I think it has a lot of potential. And it's what I've been calling Donphlareon. So a combination of Donphan Prime and Flareon from Plasma Freeze. So yeah, let's just jump right in. First of all, we have a 3/3 line of Donphan, and despite Donphan being the first name in the deck name, he's kind of more of a secondary, like a backup attacker. He's a stage 1, so he's pretty easy to get out. 120 HP, really solid. Pokebody, Exoskeleton, any damage done to Donphan by attacks is reduced by 20, so that's a nice little buffer. And then the real kicker is that he attacks for so little energy. I mean, for one fighting, you can do Earthquake for 60, which is just 1 for 60 is really, really strong. It does have the drawback of doing 10 damage to each of your bench. However, with Mr. Mime, you can actually just completely remove that bench damage. But even so, even with the bench damage, it's really not that big of a deal. We do run, I mean, 100 HP is not a lot anyway. So it's like anything that probably could, anything that could do 100 damage, or anything that could do 90 damage can probably do 100 damage, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. And then heavy impact for 90. You don't really use this. I may have used it once ever, and the only real use of it, I would think, I mean, other than obviously like if you really just need 30 extra damage that you're not going to get for a knockout, but like on something that's weak to fighting, like say Darkrai EX, this is going to be a clean Oko, where this is not. But with a Silver Bangle, this does 90 as well, so there's really not much use to heavy impact. Mostly you're going to be using Earthquake. Just a low cost, high power attack. And then we have the Eevee line, so 4 Eevees, which we would run more if we could probably. And then you have 4/4 Leafeon and Flareon. So it is more so a Flareon deck, but Leafeon is definitely a solid attacker as well. We do not have grass energy, so we cannot use the Leaf Blade attack, but we can use Energy Crush, which only costs 1 again, and it does 20 times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So, I mean, depending on the type of deck, that can be really powerful. It starts adding up, and of course, Grass as an attacking type can be pretty useful sometimes. Notably, it hits. I mean, Keldeo comes to mind. Which also he takes at least 3 energies to attack, and then more if if it's a Keldeo Blastoise type of deck. So Leafeon is really good for taking out stuff that's weak to grass, obviously, and it also does, like I said, more damage times the amount of energy. So if they have a deck that accelerates a lot, or uses something like Mewtwo who builds up a lot of energy, Energy Crush can be pretty useful. And then the main attacker, Flareon, which Flareon is not new, to the competitive scene whatsoever. It was used quite a bit and expanded. Uses the Vengeance attack. We don't have Fire Energy again. Use Vengeance, which does 20 plus 10 more for each Pokemon in your discard pile. So ideally, you want to get a bunch of Pokemon in your discard pile, and then if you have a Silverangle, that's 50 plus 10 more. You can easily rack up some really, really high damage output with Flareon, and yeah, compared to its other forms, you don't have access to Battle Compressor, things like that, Acrobike, whatever, various discard cards. But I still think that the deck has enough speed that you can power up Flareon pretty quickly and reliably take out, a lot of notable threats. And it's worth mentioning he's Fire type, which obviously is super effective on the entire Virgin deck. So I think he's well positioned to be a good card in this format. And then I also run just a 1 copy of Espeon Prime. He has the ability Eeveelution Memories, which allows him to use any attack from anything that evolves from Eevee. You still need the energy to do so. So yeah, he can be a stand-in Flareon or Leafeon, and he also has a different typing. So in the off chance you do run into something that's weak to Psychic, you will have Espeon as kind of an answer. There's not a lot of notable things that are weak to Psychic, at least not that I can think of right now. But it can come into play, or like I said, it can just be a stand-in for one of the other Pokemon. I did used to run a Vaporeon, but it did win me a game before, but it's just very underpowered. For one, you do 20 and 20 to the bench, So even if they're weak to water, you're only doing 40 and 20, or even with a Bengal, you're doing 50 and 20. But it's just like the damage output is not really there. So I took him out. And the other Vaporeon needs water energy to use Gold Breaker, which could be useful, but again, just not really practical. Yeah, 2 copies of eggs. Those make all of our Ultra Balls and other discard things basically free. And yeah, there's really no reason not to have them. I mean, yeah, starting with them is going to suck, but it is what it is. We run a lot of Pokemon, so it's a mix-up on starting with them or not. But and now I have an. This is odd. This is actually what I replaced the Vaporeon with, but I have a 2-3 line of Electrode. And the idea is like you use this one if you need to, but if you're on, you know, if you're doing well or whatever, if you don't need to keep drawing whatever, you don't have to use this Electrode. These Electro Primes, which I featured in my last Rogue video, you know, not only are they good for rapid acceleration, but they actually act as a form of discard too. If you think about it, not only do they discard themselves, so that's a +2. You look at what the top 7 cards, and any cards that, you know, any of those, if any of those are Pokemon, those are also free discards. On top of, you know, being able to accelerate. Okay, so if you hit energy, great, and then if you hit things that aren't energy, yeah, you might lose a few trainers, but if you hit some Pokemon, you can really quickly add up the damage that Flareon can do. So yeah, 2 copies of Electro Prime, and then 1 copy of the Magnetic Draw Electrode. Because if you are just like lowering your hand size constantly, this Electrode can be nice to have some consistency in your draws, but it also can just, you know, you can just throw it if you don't need it. So it's like, you know, it's win-win. 1 copy of Jirachi. No, it doesn't really need to be, you know, explained every single time just how good Jirachi is in terms of consistency, and just like I said, it gets a guaranteed supporter in your hand. So yeah, you can just set up so well with Jirachi or Collector, etc., etc. Mr. Mime. Now this I would consider making a 2 copy of, because it works so well with Donphan Prime. But yeah, it prevents damage done to bench Pokemon, which means it completely removes the negative effect of Donphan's Earthquake, as well as protects you from things like Genesect, Darkrai, Kyurem, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I would actually consider upping that to 2 Mr. Mime, maybe take out one of the Electrodes or something like that. But yeah, so that's the Pokemon line. 28 Pokemon, huge count for a normal deck. Yeah, and then we have Computer Search as our A spec, obviously, like with eggs and other, or you can just Computer Search away Pokemon to get those in the discard. Computer Search is very, very useful in this deck. Junk Arm, again, we are super into discarding stuff, so Junk Arm's great here, and this could maybe be up to 3. It's pretty tight, you know, so I'm not really sure where you would start cutting. Maybe the switches, I don't know. But yeah, Junk Arm obviously is going to get you any of your past used stuff back. Super Odd, this is to prevent, you know, deck out, as well as get back like our basic energies and just our basic Pokemon, because we only do run 4 Eevees, so that's not uncommon to want to get those back. 3 copies of Switch. None of our Pokemon really have beneficial retreat costs, you know, or whatever, like, yeah, like Donphan's 4. So yeah, I mean, maybe Floatstones, but I think, yeah, just having the access to switches is a bit more useful in this case, because you do want to be attaching Silver Bengals as your attachment most of the time. All your Pokemon are non-EX, except Jirachi. But 4 Ultra Balls, again, because discarding Pokemon is fine, discarding with eggs is free, and it just powers up everything in our deck, basically. 2 copies of Collector allows us to get early setup if we can draw into it, or for Jirachi for it, we can get a quick start on our evolution lines. 3 copies of Juniper, because again, we like tossing resources, in this case Pokemon. We run so many Pokemon, we can discard a lot of them for free. 2 copies of Oak, maybe should be 3, but just to keep you know, some cards in your deck, or just keep cycling cards. But yeah, only 2 Oak. 3 copies of Sage's Training, and this one's an interesting one. It's kind of unfortunate as a supporter, but it says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose any 2 cards you find there, put them into your hand, discard the other cards. I mean, yeah, obviously it's random, it's just the top 5, and it's like, it can really hit or it can really miss. But in this case, it's one of the few outs we have for discard. I mean, not one of the few, I can't say few, but it's like, again, it's just a guaranteed form of discard. And a lot of times, I mean, you can just hit exactly what you need. Okay, Flareon DCE and discard the rest, and you know, whatever. But it can definitely whiff as well. But it's one of the few ways we have to just add in some guaranteed discard cards, and it is a form of like search too. Still, I mean, you're gonna see a good number of cards and be able to choose what you want. 3 copies of Bengal, because again, all of our Pokemon are non-EX. We can just take advantage of that every time, and yeah, there's really no reason not to play it. 4 DCE as the main attack in our deck requires DCE, and it's a lot easier to use those than 2 of these. So, and then 4 basic fighting that powers up Donphan, and it also works on Leafeon. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck, and I think it's a really neat build, and it might have some real potential. So hopefully you guys can see for yourselves. Alright guys, today we have a match versus Globani. He's playing a multicolored deck, it seems like. So Electric, Grass, Psychic, Steel. Maybe more, judging by his Milotic sleeves. Some sort of a rainbow deck, maybe. Okay, we lose the coin flip. We will start off with Eevee. Oh, Eevee Mirror. Interesting. Wow, a mirror match. Wow, did not expect to see that. Yep, Jirachi for collector, 6 starter. Yeah, we're playing some very similar decks here. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I have to play it safe here. I don't think Espeon's relevant. I'm gonna go ahead and toss the Sage Training as well. Maybe I should have tossed the Silver Bangle. It's gonna grab. Let's see here. Probably just another Eevee. Could get a Phanpy started, but I don't think Phanpy is the best for this matchup. And just gonna play this just in case maybe he ends or something, whatever. And yeah, I'm not looking nearly as good as he is. I do have my own collector, but I wasn't able to play it on the first turn. So he's going to be already evolving and stuff. Way before I am, so he's definitely ahead. He has Voltorb already down too, so he can do that sort of play. Attaching DCE was probably a mistake. Yeah. But at least he's committed a good amount of energy to this Eevee, so whatever it evolves into, if I KO it, should be, oh, he actually played, what is that? Blend. Interesting. That was a pretty solid energy might for him, all things considered. I like to use the blend there. Allows him to use more range of attacks. He still has to hit his evolution, so it doesn't. Yeah, he missed. He whiffed on those. That's an issue for sure. Now, do I even want Leafeon in this matchup? Right now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies in play, which takes out any of his Pokemon. So that could be a viable choice here. Let's see, what other options? I could Collector for like 2 eggs and something else, and discard those. Leafeon. It's weak to Flareon, so I think that's the wrong play here. You want to do this? Grab that, or do I grab like a Voltorb? I think I grab this. Now, since I'm already evolved, I think I'm just gonna skip Collector. Oh wow, and I only hit 40, so I wasn't even able to KO the Eevee. Okay, so he gets a Flareon up, he goes with the Juniper. He's definitely progressed through his deck much faster than I have. He did offer up a prize with the Energy Might, and in this type of matchup, being 1 prize up could be everything. Let's see how much. Oh, he does play Tool Scrap, but that's not a very big deal. He actually only has 3 Pokemon in the discard, it seems. Okay. It's not gonna KO me though. One, two, three. I only have 3. Toss those. Grab a Leafeon here. Oh, I already attached. Let's see, I don't have the protection of mine. Just gonna switch and try to keep this prize advantage that I have for now. Keep it going. I'm only doing 40, but it softens him up. Leafeon actually at this point could energy crush this to death. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. This could be a bad play, but I'm going to try get Ultra Ball for Jirachi. Guess I'm going to. don't have any Junipers left, so I guess Oak will do. Okay, we do still hit the switch, which is cool. I think this kills. Yes, it does. Just the perfect amount. And now we're up 2 prizes. Okay, this will be an easy knockout, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, at this point, I should be able to just revenge with another Flareon. So he hits me for weakness. He's actually only doing 70, which is still enough, but yeah. Did I already toss? No, I didn't toss the other, so I can play this, I guess. Seems okay. I don't need to play energy, I don't think. No, because yeah, heavy impact's not going to be doing much anyway. I'm just going to go with the vengeance. I think this is a knockout. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah! I thought that was. Oh, that's really unfortunate. And he actually does play the Leafeon. Ooh, lowers his retreat. Interesting tech there. I do not play that card. He actually can attack with it thanks to his blend. That's a good call. So at this point, Flareon can knock out at least. We're definitely behind now. Well, we're technically on the same playing field, but it doesn't feel that way. Yeah, so Vengeance is a definite KO at this point, right? I mean, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 2, yeah. So we can do that, but, yeah, we're gonna be, I don't know, this is definitely a tooth and nail matchup. Evolves into Leafeon now, but it's not really that good against me. I don't have as much energy in play as he had. Oh wait, yeah, I still will KO the Flareon though. So okay, I see what he's doing. Interesting. Oh wait, no, it won't. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. Sorry. Okay, so that's pretty bad. Yeah, I have a Juniper prized. And that was actually really bad, I think. I don't know. That Glaceon is a really nice tag. And he's only doing 20, so it's not that much, but we do hit a junk arm. What will we grab is the question. How many Eevees are gone? 3. Junk arm for computer search. I have mine, but I'm not even going to worry about it at this point. We're cutting it close. Resources. Man, this is a very, very close match. Here's our prize Juniper. Now we can't even play it. It does take out our Donphan. They'll take out his Flareon. Now he has to hit his blend for this thing to attack. Okay. I can't even say just training at this point. Yeah. So I just have to energy crush. He could possibly just stall me out at this point. The more energy attaches though. And I'm not sure why he played Voltorb. I don't know if he runs this Voltorb as well. Oh, and he puts his blend there. Why? Interesting. Oh, maybe because this thing is just harder for me to take out. I guess. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm doing 40 at a piece. He's hitting me for 60. Okay, there's our other Donphan. Now I could attach this DCE and retreat him. Yeah, I think I should. No. 60 or 60. If this gives up a prize. And this thing's weak to water, so it could be revenge killed by that. I don't think I can win without mine. Well, mine has to be in the 4 cards that are left in my deck. If I can draw mine, I'll be in good shape here. switches into that. He's gonna pick up his blend. He's going for a Juniper now. Taking a deck out. He has to have a blend here. Well, he can just retreat this, but... Or did he already retreat? I don't know if he played a switch or if he retreated. Okay, yeah, so he retreats. Okay, we really need mine. Not mine. Don't even have a supporter. Okay. He can't knock out this Donphan, and I can't retreat it, so... I already know the last 3 cards. So he actually has to just knock this out for me to even win. He doesn't know this, but... Oh, he's down to 1 card now. He just drew his last card. I guess he's just trolling at this point. Realizes that we're both kind of in a stalemate. Oh, what? Wow. But I can just pass the turn and win. Yeah. Wow. There's the mime. I'll let him check out. But, okay, so it wasn't exactly, this isn't exactly a good example because Globani is on to the, you know, the good legacy decks, and it was a mirror match, which definitely did not expect. And as far as that goes, I mean, the deck is designed to be all non-EX attackers, so it's a really just back and forth match, as you saw there, just prize exchanges back and forth. And we both eventually ended up just decking out because that's just how the deck plays. It's a really kind of turbo-based deck that overwhelms a lot of normal decks, especially like EX decks. Yeah, so you got to see just like how capable the deck is for sure of pumping out good damage and just keeping up prize exchange. Like, just imagine if those had been EXs, like Flareon can just stay ahead of the game really well. Similar to kind of like Weavile, except it's not the same process. You know, you're turboing through your deck, putting it all in your discard pile. So it's a bit more risky on resource management, but definitely capable on the damage output area of things. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was, like I said, definitely not a typical matchup. I did not expect a mirror match there whatsoever. But yeah, it ended up being a really good match, I think, and really came down to the wire. And yeah, so if you have any suggestions for cool decks that maybe haven't been given the spotlight just yet, let me know in the comments. And yeah, enjoy your day.